In the year 2002, New Japan was changing. Stars like Keiji Muto and Satoshi Kojima left for All Japan. Meanwhile, Booker Riki Choshu would also leave New Japan, as he was blamed for the departures. The change in New Japan was also felt in the ring too. By September, a new staple of villainous fighters who worshipped Antonio Inoki as a living god arrived. People such as Kazunari Murakami, Kantaro Hoshino, Tadao Yasuda, and MMA fighter Ryushi Yanagisawa, forming the stable that would dominate New Japan from 2002 to 2004. By the time Shibata comes back, Makai Club was already feuding and dominating New Japan. However, the question is, when does Shibata come back? The answer? Katsuyori Shibata, the former junior heavyweight online, would join Makai Club, donning the mask and becoming a heavyweight. Gone was the days of the scrappy young junior who had heart. Instead, a more aggressive heavyweight was born. Someone whose moveset would space more in kicks and heavy strikes, as opposed to the typical junior heavyweight moveset of old. This newfound spirit, he would win his debut match as a member of Makai Club as Makai No. 4 at the Tokyo Dome, defeating Masahito Kakihara and Takashi Iizuka, teaming with Makai No. 5, who was played by Mitsuya Nagai. From then on, he would team with members of Makai Club and participate in a whole host of tag matches, as well participating in a 6-man tag tournament for the Tyson Hall Cup and making it to the semifinals. Then, he and Makai No. 5 would enter an IWGP Tag Title Tournament, losing the first round to Iizuka and Kakihara in a rematch from the Tokyo Dome encounter. Unfortunately, I have no footage of these matches. Following these opportunities, he continued to wrestle for the group in standard mid-card tags. However, in March, he'd find himself joining the G2 U30 Climax. Yes, that's the name, and yes, it was a tournament for wrestlers under 30. There, he'd finished with 4 points in Block B, and ended up in a tiebreaker to make it to the semis on legendary wrestler Kengo Kimura's retirement show against Blue Wolf, and losing in 5 minutes. During this time, he'd also take on Hiroyoshi Tenzan, and well, he'd lose in 4 minutes, but he did at least have a strong showing. Following this, he'd have a series of tags with Makai Club, going up against various New Japan wrestlers in elimination tag matches. However, I had no footage of these matches, even though I thought I did, and I remember having the footage of these matches and downloading them, but I guess not. But, you know, it's okay. I'm not annoyed or anything, right? Anyways, this time period was okay for Shibata. He had established himself as a solid mid-card tag team wrestler. And so now the question is, what was next for Shibata?
山崎さん、今なんて聞こえました？
柴田って言ったような気がするんですけれども。
柴田ですか。現在欠場中、怪我の治療中の柴田ということなんでしょうか。村上がいいプレゼントと言いました。それはこの柴田でありました。柴田がなんと魔界クラブ入り、こういうことだったのか。長い欠場を経て柴田が魔界クラブ所属としてリングに帰ってまいりました。ここで急遽カードが変更。
Over the summer, Shibata would enter a feud with both Nagata and Hiroshi Tanahashi. With Tanahashi, the two would compete over the U30 Openweight title, a title Tanahashi had won after winning the U30 G2 Climax, and, as well, they would also compete for the IWGP Tag title. Both times Shibata would lose, however, both times you can clearly see the growth Shibata has had. Within just a span of a year, he went from a middling junior heavyweight wrestler who had flashes of growth to now morphing into his own character, whose skill set combined the aggressive and ruthless Makai Club style mixed in with kicks and strikes. We also begin to see him slowly change personality-wise as well. Do not get it twisted, he is still above and beyond a member of Makai Club first and foremost. However, we see Shibata's pride evolve. Going back a little, at NJPW Crush on June 13th, Shibata would defeat Nagata. However, he won via nefarious means, as Makai Club members would stop Nagata from getting back into the ring, allowing Shibata to win by countout. While Shibata did look a bit conflicted as he won, he cast it aside. After all, he had beaten arguably the ace of New Japan Nagata. Even if it was dodgy, it was still a win. However, by the time he reached the G1, Shibata has already gone through his short mini feud with Tanahashi. And with Shibata entering the G1, Shibata hoped to prove his worth and make fans realize that he will surprise everyone and win the G1. However, in his first match, he'd lose to Nakamura. He was too aggressive, which gave the Super Rookie the opening to hit a spear, and then lock in a triangle choke, making Shibata pass out. Next, he'd face off against Sadao Yasuda, and here, we see the pride in Shibata come out. Yasuda lays down for Shibata, and Shibata begrudgingly accepts. Once it gets to the back, he'd crash out, furious at the result. However, after defeating Yutaka Yoshiai the next night, Shibata stood at 4 points, and when he faced off against Nagata again, well, once again, Makai Club interfered, preventing Nagata from winning via countout, and instead giving Shibata a point via double countout. However, this result would enrage Shibata, as not only would he have lost following Nagata planting a DDT right onto the floor, but also again, Yasuda would ensure he wouldn't get a clean finish. Due to this, he'd attack Yasuda out of frustration, and would then head to the back. This G1, and throughout the summer, we saw the transformation of Shibata. In many ways, his fighting spirit awakened, and while certainly he wouldn't win the G1, losing to Yuji Nagata on the 16th to determine who would have advanced to semis, unfortunately I have no footage of this match, this G1 showed his spirit and his heart, as well as his pride. When September rolled around, he'd have a chance to face Sadao Yasuda on the 4th of September. Could Shibata use his heart to finally win?
レフリーの山本虎鉄はどうするか、戦えと柴田に促した。さあそしてレフリーの山本虎鉄はどうするんだ。マイクを要請するのか。さあ再びお前恥ずかしいやろバカ野郎。さあ山本虎鉄が怒った。お客様に一緒にやれかバカ野郎。さあ虎鉄が怒った。戦って何分だバカ野郎。虎鉄が怒った。山本虎鉄。さあマウントだ。マウント虎鉄が行く。ここに魔界クラブが行った。これは大変だ。さあ柴田は何をしている。柴田は何をしてるんだ。ギロチンチョークだ。ノーコンテストという裁定となりました。レフリーの山本虎鉄は怒りをあらわにしました。 安田に突っかかっていった。
勝頼、そなたは悪ではない。正義じゃ。今こそ部下に入りなさい。人間らしい正しい道を歩みなさい。
西村がさあ柴田に対してアピール。柴田はどうするんだ。柴田今日何もしておりません。この後楽園ホールに現れた柴田勝頼、今の問いかけに対してさて柴田勝頼は一体どうするんだ。
教えてよ、人はなぜ探し続けるの。限りなく切ない明日の星だけが見つめてる悲しい夜には自分を確かめたくて君に道づけしたね。ずっと追いかけ続けた夢はいつ掴めるのか。誰にもそれはわからないけれど、何一つ変えられない、この想い譲れない。 Oh in the storm 嵐に向かって羽ばたく鳥のように輝きの中で風になれ。
Yasuda through the match, Shibata by the end of the night would earn the respect of Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki and Shibata would clash on September 14th of 2003, where there Suzuki would win. However, Shibata again would show his spirit, fighting until the very end, and, as well, would be comforted by Suzuki, who would give Shibata his respect.
明日が曇らないように答えなんて欲しくない、この夢があればいい。 Oh in the storm 嵐に向かって飛び立つ鳥のように輝きの中を駆けてゆけ。To be a royal warrior, I have to be a lonely warrior tonight.
With all this in mind, it is now time we advance forward. On October 13th, NJPW would hold a Tokyo Dome show, and Shibata would be booked in the card, going up against fellow stablemate Kazunari Murakami in order to claim a $2 million yen that was on Murakami's head. Shibata would earn the yen by beating Murakami, by the way. However, with Shibata's spirit, he also learned what happens when you get a bigger head than the stable. Shibata basically gets his ass kicked, and whilst he'd show heart doesn't matter when you're getting basically jumped by a madman and an entire stable. When the night was over, he lost and was bloodied. Even with Murakami showing him respect, it doesn't matter. Shibata got humbled hard. And the humbling of Katsuyori Shibata was not over. It would only continue. At Yokohama Deadao on November 3rd, Shibata would participate in a K1 kickboxing match. At this time, NJPW was in a feud with K1 and also MMA in general, but that will be explained later when we get to the Super Rookie portion of the series. He would face off against legitimate kickboxer Hiromi Yamada, and whilst he'd make it to the second round, he'd lose by TKO. While Shibata had such a strong 2003, proving his mettle, by the end of the year, Shibata got humbled and put in his place, both by his stable and as well in martial arts. With such a humiliating end to the year, what comes next for Katsuyori Shibata? How will 2004 fare for him? Well, that remains to be seen in the next part.
まず一番左の方から参ります。中村慎介、22歳です。
言葉にできるなら少しはマシさ。互いの胸の中は手に取れるほどなのに震える瞳が語りかけてた出会いがもっと早ければとI love you 許されることならば抱きしめていたいのさ光の午後も星の夜